So we're in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a cooler. Oh my gosh. I think it's a 716 dash 0. It's on the proposal and it's in the contract. So whatever it was that we put in there, that's what it is. Anyways, this is straight out of Ferguson. So nice white cast iron. It went in actually relatively easy. We thought it was going to be pretty difficult because these things weigh about 315 pounds. So we did push it all the way forward as far as we could. You can see in the corner, you know, here it's hitting wood. And the reason being is if you pull it back too far, then they start building this wall surface up here. This wall surface, they start building it up thicker and thicker, and it buries that valve. So we push it all the way this way. It's not quite square. The framing in here, you can see down here, big gap. Even worse on the existing framing, which is this guy. And this one's straight. We put a level on it. And so, same thing over there in the corner. You can see this is an existing stud nailed next to the corner piece that ties in the two walls, and you can see how far out it is. What I would do is, honestly, that there from here down to here, take and plane it down, shave it off, do whatever you want to do with it, but this one's straight, this inside one, or you're going to have a big whoop-de-doo right there. And I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm not a sheetrock guy, I'm not a tile guy, all that, but I know when you get into walls that are crooked, it's painful, you know, for a tile guy to get in here. So we did go ahead, as a point of courtesy, put all your blocking in, because we pulled some of it out, actually most of it out, to reconfigure things. We had to cut a hole in the wall over there, and that was discussed. We needed access to get in here and hook up the waste, the drain. So we did pull the baseboard off entirely. It's the full run of the living room. We didn't break it. We just pulled it off, set it out in the garage. Once you got your patch, you can go ahead and cut the nails back, put it back on, nail it together, caulk it back in. You're good to go on that side. So that's done there. New framing on both sides of the valve. You can see 2x4 full length. In 92 1/4, 2x4, full length 92 1/4. Block up top with a PEX cell and a stub out. That's a drop ear 90. Uponor makes that. And then down here an Uponor adapter right there to the Uponor piping up there, so for the shower head. Tub is required to have a full either, you know, copper or iron pipe, anything full inside diameter. Uponor is not quite 1/2 inch on the inside. Shower's fine for that. Tub needs full flow, so it's stubbed out and strapped real good. Of course, we did the previous valve over there in that bathroom. That's sitting there. You can see it coming over to here, dropping down. We did reverse the cartridge over there because it was hot to hot and cold to cold. Don't match up from side to side. So we flopped it over. They've got cold on the right side now, which is correct. This one should function correctly once they get it going. The water is on right now. We got the little tab pointing up. We got the water on because we want to monitor this area right here for leaking. So we want to make sure that, and it's piped up, we want to make sure nothing in here is leaking. You know, you want to get your tile guy in here right away, but you know, if you can hold off a day or so and just make sure nothing's leaking in here, that would be great. Just take a look at it, you know, make sure it's the only chance you've got to look at it. Outside of, you know, of course, while that's still open over there in the living room, you could definitely crawl in there and take a look. But, so anyways, that's good. We did just put a couple of set screws in here down at the bottom. It's not really doing much. We don't want this tub moved around. It is heavy, but you can move it if you get aggressive with it. There's one shim on the back leg. It's got 4 legs underneath the bottom of this cast iron tub. It's sat down real flat with the exception of the back one. So we took one 9-inch plate strap, got it shoved underneath, and now it's perfectly level. We stood back corner to front corner, tried to rock it, completely still, and then of course this front corner to that back corner, completely still. So this tub is in there solid. And like I say, you can see if you look in here, if you look at the framing, you can see down here, little gap over there, big gap. That's a framing problem. And, you know, that affects everybody, I guess. You know, drywaller didn't mind, but I know a tile guy, he's got to get in here and make his tile look right, so he's going to have fun with that. But it is pulled against the tub. As you can see, it's hitting stud here, here, and here. Okay, and that's the main 3 in the center. It's away from this one in the corner. And of course over here it's away from this one as well. But we did put in a couple screws here, you know, just for fun. They're not really going to do anything. If you yank on it, you can get underneath those screws. A couple of gold screws, couple of gold screws, couple of gold screws right there. Same thing in the bottom down there, a couple of gold screws. We just want this to stay in place while you tile it in. Like I say, it's not moving, going anywhere. Cast iron is the way to go. Water is on. I think that's it in here. So Moen 63-200 or 62-300, I can't remember. The valve that's in there. Iron pipe drop. Uponor up to 6'6", which is in the contract. And all the blocking's in. We did go ahead and put the electrical back in too. Stubbed that back in there and trimmed it back out, so that was good. And I think outside of that, this installation is done.